Hey y'all, hey, you already know. Welcome to Talk That Shit podcast, where we have real, raw, unfiltered conversations. Nothing's off limits. I'm super excited because it is season 6, episode 61. It's been a long time since we been in these stereo streets, but we back at it. I have a very special co-host with me today, Sensei Sage, who is not new to this, but he's true to this. Hey, Sensei.
What's going on?
Nothing much. Chilling. How was your day today?
Tiresome.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I know you're going to crank up once we start getting into some of these topics because these are conversations that are very much needed. But before we even get started, y'all, I want to go ahead and share this out to a couple of people, and I guess you could do the same to your followers. I know these people ain't seen us and these neck of the woods in a while, but I'm gonna take a moment to I know Spectacular and Black Casper was registered on the other show, so let me just go down to this real quick. Modei, hey Modei, how you doing? Modei, if you want to come on the panel, Modei, you're more than welcome. Just send the request. If not, if you want to stay down there, you are more than welcome. But we have a lot to unpack tonight. I'm super excited to be back over here on the airways. Let me just explain to y'all real quick. So I stopped recording on this platform due to the fact that the other platform that I was on, Spotify, bought them out. I was really upset about that. I know business is business, but the reason why I was so upset about it was the simple fact that the other platform had editing tools and things that was already instituted connected into the platform, where I could pre-record my intro to the podcast. I had pre-recorded outro to the podcast. I had pre-recorded commercials, like ads for the podcast. You can load up background music to the show, and all of these things was already built into the system. When Spotify bought them out and changed it to creators or Spotify podcasters or something like that, they totally deleted all of our libraries that was connected to the other platform before they bought them out, which made it very, like, I was very disappointed about that, because we didn't even have time as creators to like back up all the stuff that we had saved to our library. Okay, so I lost all my recorded ads, I lost my intro music, I lost my outros, I lost all that stuff. And then they gave us 2 links to 2 other companies that we could do the editing and stuff on, but it really left a bad taste in my mouth. So I was just like, you know what, fuck it, like I'm out the game, because like for me to try to learn a whole new program with all the other things that I had going on, I wasn't trying to do that. But as time is going on now, fast forward, there's a lot of shit happening in the world. It's been a lot of stuff happening, but the stuff that I'm seeing come across my desk, the amount of things that people send to my inbox every day. For those who have been following me on Instagram at Talk That Shit Podcast, which is TALKDATSH podcast. A lot of people send me stuff to my inbox. There's so much stuff that I can't even read it, I can't even look at it all, right? But for the main part, I just reshare content. I reshare content that people send me. I reshare content that I see to raise awareness to people of what's going on. But I said, out of all the things that I have been reposting and resharing, I need to give my 10 cents on it. And I want to bring other people in that are close to me, that I know that have expertise and knowledge in different things, to weigh in on it. Like, what do they feel, to offer solutions to the masses, because I do have people listening to this podcast from all over the world. And so I just wanted to offer an apology for you guys that I've let down because I haven't uploaded any new content lately. But we back at it. All right. So without further ado, tonight's conversation is what the F is going on in the world. Season 6, episode 61. This will be uploaded to all the major streaming platforms. So if you're listening to Spotify, Apple Podcasts, all of that, y'all gonna hear it there, y'all gonna see it there. And I think I may be uploading this to YouTube as well. So make sure you're following us. I will put the links in the description. All right, let's get it, let's go. What's on tonight's roster? And then I want to welcome my homeboy Modei to the panel. Let me tell you how used to TikTok I am. I'm literally looking for the applause button so I can press it, and I just forgot that I'm not even on that platform. But anyway, welcome to the panel, Modei. Welcome, Sensei. Tonight we have a lot of things to discuss. But I want to bring back this thing that I used to do called Word of the Day, okay? I think that's important to help us expand our vocabulary and our palate when we're having conversation. So today's Word of the Day is imminent. Imminent means about to happen, impending, at hand, close, and overhanging. Because the revolution is imminent, okay? They used to say, back in the day, guys, remember when they used to say, the revolution will not be televised, which was a famous phrase by this guy named Gil Scott Heron, who was a poet, musician, and political commentator. He had a poem and a song of that name, The Revolution Will Not Be Televised. So I want to ask you guys a question before we even get into all the rest of the topics for the night. Do you believe that it's true that the revolution will not be televised, or do we see examples of revolutions being televised all the time now? Any one of you guys could answer. I'm sorry.
I think everything's being televised. It's just whether or not you had a fourth site in order to see what's wise and what's not.
Okay. What do you think, Modei? Do you think the revolution will be televised? Do you feel like it's being televised now or no?
I think I got to go with Sage on that factor. As far as it being televised, when I look at the whole thing being televised, I translate that word as being where the revolution be Hollywoodized. And when I look at that, it's almost like you got to decipher if this revolution is actually real or is it a smokescreen for something else. That's exactly how I kind of look at it. And the reason why I look at it is because the type of televised nature of it all, if you will, or Hollywoodized, is, to me, those are the ones basically that are allowed to stay alive. As far as the revolution is concerned, the ones that are not allowed to stay alive, for the most part, those are going to be the ones that are going to be taken out. The ones who want to be able to do true damage to put a serious wrench, rather be one person, which I doubt, it's going to be more so teams. Because I really think a lot of teams of people going to get together, basically. They're going to take care of different things, different fronts. Not just going to be one for the most part. There may be one that's out there, for the most part, is kind of maybe doing the speaking here and there, for the most part, doing the, how can I put this, rhythmic gathering of souls, rhythmic gathering of making bridges with others, for the most part, to cause what I would like to say a smoke screen of their own, while the people who are in the dark and people in the shadows are actually putting wrenches, well-oiled or well-rested wrenches in the system to kind of keep to basically distract the system itself, basically, to basically concentrate that on the speaker or the antagonizer that's out in the open, while the people in the shadow basically are the ones that are breaking down the system. Maybe that may be wishful thinking on my part. Basically, but I kind of sort of see that happening. It's almost like fighting deception with deception, because they've been deceptive towards us for tens, 20s, generations, hundreds of years, basically keep us pretty much mentally distracted. Rather on low levels, on high levels, etc., a multitude of levels. What they've done is they're crap in the dark. Yeah, so it's almost like we're going to do the same thing with them. Yeah. And it's like, I think we're going to do the same thing with them. But it's going to be different. It's going to be something that obviously they're not going to be able to look at, which is why, I don't know why, y'all, but I keep getting this vision, not often, but when it does come up, it's like I keep thinking that a combination of whoever this team is going to be, they're going to create something so out cold, basically, that the powers that be is not going to be able to see it coming. And they're not going to be able to actually stop that tidal wave. And that tidal wave is very much so Pluto and Aquarian-ish, where basically there's so much intellectual fortitude, so not just, how can I put this, intelligent masturbation, so to speak, but actual, building blocks basically from an internal level to basically be put on a cyber level. And they think they really have the whole, lockdown on the cyber level, but it kind of goes back to the whole Matrix thing, where it's almost like you're creating an anomaly to actually just screw up the system in ways that could not even be imagined to be screwed up.
All right. Okay. Thank you for that weigh-in on that. Wow, that was a lot of you put a lot of different. No, that's okay. You put a deeper perspective on that. I just want to take a moment to acknowledge all the guests that are coming into the room. What's up, Black? That's my guy, Black Casper, in the building. And another thing. What's up? And another thing, Lord Porkchop. Oh my God, I haven't seen you in so long. So I'm gonna weigh in on that also, because the question before you guys came in the room, the question was the saying that the revolution will not be televised. Do you really believe that's true, or do we see the revolution being televised right now as we speak? But before I weigh in on that, let me just run down some of the topics that we're going to be going over tonight as a whole. So I'm going to talk about, I know Sensei has some things to talk about also, but I want to bring up the Senate Bill 5599, because a lot of us are not paying attention to legislation and the bills that are being passed. And I think that's a big thing, because that is why we see so many distractions all the time. Whenever I see big flag distractions, I'm like, what are they trying to pass? What are things that are being done in secret that most people are not paying attention to? How many people are watching the legislation? There's a handful of people that are into political things that are happening, so they're paying attention. But how many of us are really paying attention so we can go and do things about it from the ground level? Not a lot of us. So Senate Bill 5599 is something I want to talk about. Also, I'm going to bring up Hell Gates, aka Bill Gates, about his appearance at the Global Summit and the bullshit he was talking about under the guise of health and prosperity through immunization. I want to talk about Ibrahim Traiore and Assimi Goata and reclaiming Africa's resources, okay? And then I want to also talk about it was something that I saw on Instagram, a question that this Black guy asked about the KKK, and why is it that they've never been labeled an organized crime or terrorist group? Because if it was any other culture, they would have been labeled that with the things that they were doing. I also want to bring up this thing about this new satellite that they have up in quote outer space, and its capabilities, because they started off with some really prehistoric satellites up there, and now they have some upgraded satellites that can really, they said that whatever is up there, like for Google Earth and things like that, that satellite has nothing on this new satellite that's up there. And I want to talk about the details that I saw, because this is coming from somebody who was a ex-CIA agent. He did I think it was a 3 or 5 hour dissertation on YouTube, and I didn't watch the whole 5 hours, but I watched enough of it because my head was just like blown. My mind was blown with the stuff that he was saying. He basically had to get permission from the higher ups, because whenever you were a part of the system and you want to come out with a book or anything, you have to get permission, because they want to make sure that they're going through with a fine-tooth comb the things that you're going to be discussing, and make sure you're not going to be discussing classified information. So a lot of the stuff he was talking about, he was going over declassified information, but also putting a couple of tidbits in there for to help people have a little bit more clarity about what we're experiencing. That was very eye-opening. I want to talk a little bit about that. Also, the World Economic Forum. This lady named Nita Farahany, who said something that was very disturbing, and the fact that they're able to say things out in public so boldly at these conferences, and people are not disturbed.
Are there any limits?
mean, I know some people are disturbed, but I don't think enough of us are disturbed about it, and not disturbed enough about it to the point where we're actually doing something about it. That's the part that really like grinds my gears. And lastly, guys, for those of us who are on TikTok, TikTok is now about to switch over to something called M2, which is technically owned by Meta. Okay, so we talking about Zuckerberg, the other. So we're talking about we're talking about Zuckerberg and all the other oligarchs that have come together, putting their money together to do this. And I wait till you guys hear, if you haven't heard already, about the shit that is coming down the line with TikTok. Yeah. So just to go back some, my 10 cents about the revolution being televised. Okay, I don't know if a real revolution will be televised per se, as far as like being on CNN News, Channel 7 TV by mainstream media, but I feel like in this age of social media, it's definitely being retweeted, quoted, shared, broadcasted, podcasted, vlogged, blogged, and documented in documentaries for sure. So even though it's not going through mainstream, it is still going through mainstream, okay, like alt media. And so this is tying into the government wanting to kind of put a forceful hand on TikTok, because most of us get a lot of our news from our global news from TikTok. Let's be honest. That has become the mainstream news for a lot of the what is it, Gen Z, millennials? I don't know what you call this generation, but a lot of people get their news from TikTok, and even without doing their own proper research, they'll literally take for word face value what these content creators are recycling on TikTok, Instagram, and all these other places. So I feel like that's where the revolution is going to be televised. But thank you guys for your feedback on that. But yeah, we're gonna go down some rabbit holes tonight, guys. I'm gonna try to make this. Let's try to make this this episode less than 3 hours. Okay, so before freaking midnight, let's try to wrap this up and weigh in on this. Okay, but okay, so we're gonna do this in 2 parts. We're gonna take care of the heavy shit in the beginning, dissect it, go over the news and some solutions at the end. Take some Q&A and some feedback from the audience. And because I don't ever like to leave people feeling in fear, having a lot of heaviness or hopelessness, because we are more powerful and impactful than we know. And I feel like there's always a solution to every problem. Okay, so we're starting with Senate Bill 5599. This goes over the law allowing, okay, listen to this, y'all. If you have children, this is going to affect you the most. If you don't have children, you don't really have to worry about this, but you should still be concerned, okay? So Senate Bill 5599 is a law allowing host shelters to not contact parents if a teen runs away. The state or the host home family does not have to tell the parent, the biological parent, and the host family can assist that child with a gender affirming care or surgery. Layman's terms: if a minor wants to be trans and chooses to go against their biological parents and run away to a quote unquote host home, aka a stranger's house, the stranger can help that minor to get a sex change and care without consenting or notifying the parent. This is a bill that the Senate just passed, Bill 5599. I'm gonna put my 10 cents in on this, and I would love to hear what Sensei and Modei in the audience, how you guys feel about that. To me, I feel like that's a really fucked up bill. The fact that the Senate would even pass that lets you know how deep rotted the sickness of the system is. Because why is there such a bill on the table to strip away the parental rights? Again, Project 2030, I think, is almost like over 800 pages, right? How many people actually read it, right? How many people actually dissected that to see how fucked we really are with that plan? Okay, so this is a trickle down domino effect of them stripping away people's rights. Okay, because how dare you, as a governing body, tell a minor that they have more rights than their biological parents, and give the rights of the parents to strangers, especially when it comes to body transformation or anything regarding that child. It's like, I'm really upset about that. And it just goes to show you, like, the people who are in control of making decisions, um they don't make announcements and give PSAs to when they're passing these bills, because they don't want enough people in society to weigh in or go try to lobby against these bills before they're actually passed. For those who don't know, these bills have to get put on the table and they have to get voted in before it becomes law. So this bill has not become law yet, but it has made it past the second phase. It's made it past the first phase. So there's still time for people who, the people who knew about it were outside protesting. People had their signs up and everything like that. But it's really disgusting. How do you guys feel about this? Let me know. Or do you feel a way about it at all? Is it something that you feel like?
How do you go, Sage, or you want to go? Want me to go, Sage, or you go?
Huh? You can go ahead. You can go ahead.
Right. This whole bill reminds me of I forgot what lecture I saw. It might have been Bobby Hemmett a long time ago, but it was somebody, I can't remember what it said. But a whole disposition, well, not whole disposition, but a big part of disposition as far as doing this bill, is to create America into another Rome. ROE. And when they said, what do you mean by that? I was like, what does that mean? Well, for one, they're wonderful, and I say that in an extreme sarcastic way, in creating children into sex objects.
Right.
And that's what I'm looking at as far as this so-called bill is concerned, because it has absolutely positively nothing to do with children's health at all whatsoever. This is about the admission and the openness of this. The one so-called organization comes a lot on mind is that whole man-boy love organization. That things like that, and how that's not being touched at all, basically, by the ones behind the curtain. That's not being touched at all. Also, dare I say it, basically the pedophile ring within the elite as well. That includes Congress people, Hollywood people, etc. Which is a big part of it. Just a bunch of different pieces in which basically the object of desire is no longer grown women or grown men, it's actually children. So the disposition with that, I see, is why this bill is making it quote unquote so-called official through a bunch of language that people like us need to obviously see through and see exactly what's going on with that. It's like the mad scientists, basically a lot of mad scientists putting the seed into the ears of politicians who are run by the ones who bought them in the first damn place to put up such bills, such laws, such ordinances, such statutes, etc., to make sure that anybody, just about anybody, who was of their mentality, basically of their pedo mentality, if you will, to say, hey, this is an interesting thing. You ever thought about basically sexualizing and having sex with somebody who was a trainee at what, age 10, 11, etc.?
And this is something that we know they have been doing, but I feel like we're every day, every month, every year, I feel like we're heading more into authoritarianism, which is the enforcement or advocacy of strict obedience to authority at the expense of personal freedom. It's having a lack of concern for other people's wishes and opinions. So that's what that sounds like to me, because of the sickness that is so deep rooted into the deep state. And also, not only that, But the fact that there's so much pressure and so much talk now, like people, the society is on these people's necks about the missing children, about the
Mm-hmm.
rituals, about the sacrifice, about the adrenochrome, all these things that are coming out. So what would make these people that are now getting in their fancy jets, fleeing to private islands and stepping down from position, CEO position, what would make them feel comfortable in their sickness is to start from the ground level, which is changing laws and legislation, because they've already knocked down the age of minors being able to make certain healthcare decisions, right? So it's all domino effect. If they can get away with people not stepping up and complaining enough about these laws and legislations, oh, we can get away with lowering the age for minors. They can make their own decisions at the age of 16 or 15 or 14 or whatever it is. Now, bless you. Now, from once they pass that stage, now it will go to lowering the age of when a minor can do XYZ, lowering the age of when a minor can do ABC. So, like, if they keep lowering the age, and it keeps passing because enough people are either don't know about it, or they don't have the bandwidth to fight for it, or they just don't give a fuck, then at the end of the day, they will feel more comfortable being activated in their sickness, because right now it's still they get a lot of judgment on it, because we know innately and spiritually it's fucking wrong. It's wrong to touch children. It's wrong to rape children. It's wrong to do these things with children, right? Obviously, to unalive them and torture them and drain their blood and all the other things that they're doing, organ harvesting, and need I say more, right? We know that's wrong. It's sinful. It's disgusting, right? You're an animal. You're not even human. If you're doing that type of shit, you have no spirit. You have no soul, right? But if they can lower the ages, that means now the people who we're considering to be pedos, now they can operate so freely because it's legal now for us to be sick in our shit, right?
Right.
It's no longer looked at as a sickness, because now it becomes commonplace. So, like, if people don't see that's what's happening, the unraveling of the system is like they're trying to knock down these, make and institute these laws so that they can be comfortable operating in the sickness. I don't know in what society they feel like ever doing things with children would ever be okay. Like, I don't give a damn if it becomes legal or not. They're going to get a lot of pushback from society. People are going to start to go rogue and take legal matters into their own hands. And that's when we're going to see, I feel, that's when we're going to see a lot of anarchy and a lot of bullshit, is when they continue to get away with shit, and the people in society feel like there are no consequences. They're not being punished. They're not going to prison, and nothing's happening to them. Okay, bet. We're going to take care of it. Street justice, period. But anyway, I don't want to linger too long on that, because that's not we got bigger fish to fry in this conversation. I'm going to move it right along. And I also have audio for you guys. If you guys are watching this on YouTube, listening to the replay, you will actually be seeing the visual, because I'm going to include clips on the YouTube. But for those who are listening live right now in real time, I have some audio for you. Let me find it real quick, because this sick fucker, Bill Gates. And for those who don't know, there is a Fuck Bill Gates campaign going on all around the world. The one thing I can say about other countries...
About damn time, excuse me.
Yeah? No, seriously. One thing I can say about other countries is other countries have big balls when it comes to getting out in the street and protesting. The simple fact that, like, here in America, a lot of us are so pussy to do things. And I'm not even going to say we're pussy, because it's just different in the US. Obviously, you know, they would try to unalive you and throw you in prison for protesting and telling the truth. So in other countries where their police officers may not carry firearm and things like that, maybe people feel like, you know, they feel more safe to get out and speak out freely on these things. You know, we know that's not the case here. So, you know, I don't want to say that we're all pussies, but it's really disgusting. Where is that
Never
video?
mind. Before you play it,
Uh-huh.
at the end of the day, everybody in America are pussies, and that's the
Mm.
problem. Like
Mm.
it's back and forth sensitivity shit. That is why these kids are dying. Or unalive, whatever it is. I ain't good with all that. That the truth is the truth.
Yeah.
Um, you know, if these men are out here, if you could get 30,000 men to watch the Super Bowl, that's 30,000 men is not watching the block.
Oh.
If you
Wow.
got all these men watching the playoffs, that's all the men is not watching the block in the home.
Mm.
You got all these women out here getting BBLs and getting surgeries, and every face shot is a butt cheek shot. Your butt cheek is your face now. That's a kid that she ain't watching or cooking for, you know,
Mm.
or creating medicine for. At the end of the day, everybody in America is a pussy because they always blaming shit on other damn people. Instead of men need to warrior up. You don't need no senator to tell you what you need to do in your neighborhood. You don't
Right.
need, you don't need none of that. All you need is yourself. What we
Right.
need to do is create a third party, which is the party that already existed, which nobody remembers, is called the Republic Party, not the Republican. The Republicans and the Democrats are the same people.
Mm. Two wings of the same bird, they say.
They're the same thing. But the reason what's going on is you have the original Israelites fighting with the Grecians and the Roman ways of life. This stuff that they're doing, this is their way of life. That's why they don't care about it. This is what they do. It's not wrong to them because that is their way of life.
We got
But
a
it's
message
not
down
our
here
way of
now.
life. So
Exactly.
they they're basically what's going on is there's this is an Israel versus Israel battle. And they're diluting the new seeds, the new leaders of Israel by getting to them early, so they won't become a threat later on. And we could go deeper with that, but I'm not going to because we ain't got much time. But I'm gonna leave it at that till the next show.
Oh yeah, there's so much to unpack, y'all. Like literally, we could do this in three parts because I'm gonna pop that bubble because Black Casper left a message for us. But I want to say this. I also you just brought it to remembrance. I heard somebody say or comment on an Instagram post about Hitler, and basically they said we have Hitler all wrong because they said he actually was onto something with the Holocaust because now when we look at present day what's going on, they were saying if he had succeeded in what he was doing, this would not be a problem. So I don't want to go into that conversation right here right now, but I definitely have a clip from a Jewish person talking about how they run the whole world, and he was very very braggadocious about it and very disgusting, but it's true. He was talking about how they run the whole world, everything in every sector, everything goes through them, how they have the governments and the shadow governments in their pocket and all of this stuff. And yeah, so when I saw the comment under that video talking about had Hitler succeeded at what he was doing, we would not be having this problem, I was like, oh, that's a whole other conversation. But we're gonna pop this bubble. BC.
Hey, Grand Rising, good evening, good afternoon, good day for this Saturday. Y'all made it. A lot of people didn't make it. This BC, Black Casper, out here on the streets of Stereo, Empress Horror. Thank you for sharing the show. Much love to you, Queen. Hope you're having a great, wonderful night. Moheem, I hope you're having a great, wonderful day. Chief, hope you're having a great, wonderful evening. I'm out here on the streets of Stereo. Out here in Chicago right now. I'll be headed down to ATL. Hope you're having a great, wonderful day, night, Empress. Or, I got 1 acres in Arkansas. I'm going to go to Arkansas one in next month. And then the one in Georgia, I'm going to see that one next week. So I'm going to go check out the property out there, see what it looks like. But hope you're having a great, wonderful evening, though. I'm listening, though, to the Stereo Street, BC. Black Casper.
Hey, you must be going to that event that they're throwing. Are you going to that event in the Ozarks? I see the tickets are $50. I wish I was going, but I'm already going to Texas. I'm actually going to a land event in Texas. But yeah, that's exciting, Black Castle. We gotta talk after the show because I would love to connect with you on that. And congratulations on your land. I know we talked about it. I'm happy that you actually listen. One thing I can say, let me say this before I go roll back into the show. One thing I honor about Black Casper, which most women honor about men, period. When a man does what he says and stands on business, one thing Black Casper gonna do, he gonna put his money where his mouth is every time. I know that for sure. He gonna put his money. If he say he gonna do something, he gonna do it. And I can as a woman, I'm letting you know right now, brother, I can appreciate that. We need more of that in the world. But we're gonna roll back into it. I'm gonna play the clip from Bill Gates at the Global Summit where he's using his speech as a guise for health and prosperity through immunization, to try to get more investors to invest in his evil plot and plan to fuck up the world, okay? And you could tell he's stuttering. I want you guys to listen how he's stammering and stuttering during this dissertation, trying to use bogus claims about the medical and health industry. He tried to play on the heartstrings of people's emotions, bringing parents and children into it because he's lost $30 billion in support, okay? He lost $30 billion in support. He's crying about it because people are starting to realize what he's doing is very evil. He's a liability. The people who already knew what he was doing was nefarious are pulling out because they no longer want to be attached to him. And they know that if you knock down one domino, all the other dominoes fall. So a lot of people who are involved in nefarious activities, when they see the first domino has been knocked down, you will see a lot of them start to pull out of things and step down from things because they know their time is limited. Their time is coming. So they'll try to separate themselves from the bullshit. So I'm going to play this video right here of him saying the bullshit. Let me see.
Is at risk. Budgets are tight, and we all have to show our priorities when
Let me know if you guys can hear that.
Tough trade-offs to be made. There's no denying this is a global health crisis. The U.S. cuts and other funding cuts, aid in total has gone down.
Can you guys hear that? Sage and Modei, can you guys hear that?
Yes, indeed.
Okay.
By $30 billion this year alone. It reinforces the incredible values being shown by the people who are showing up here today and being incredibly generous. But with the cut in health resources, along with the financial situation a lot of these low-income countries are in, we are going to have a few years where things will go backwards. Think of a mother who will bring a baby wheezing for breath to a health center, and because the vaccines aren't available, that baby will not survive. Think of a health worker trying to deal with a measles outbreak, who, because there's less resources for that primary healthcare system or vaccines, that measles epidemic will continue. This is agonizing. We have to put ourselves in the position of the parents who lose these children, and how tough it must be for them to realize that the life could have been saved by a vaccine that costs just 30 cents.
He is so gaslighting. That is such a gaslight. The way that he's using parents losing their babies possibly for a lack of vaccination is so freaking humorous to me. It's not funny, but it's like the fact that he's trying to play up on people's emotions to induce them to donate to this bullshit. And my thing is this: why the fuck do you need anybody's donations if you're a billionaire? That's what I'm trying to find out. You could literally sponsor this whole shit on your own if you really want to.
Billionaires are all about using other people's money. That's what they're always about.
Other people's money. money. Nah, fund it yourself. You got the bread. If that's what you want to do, go broke behind it.
Yeah, but you know, a lot of this stuff with them is really not about the money. It's that they have to follow certain ritualistic laws. So, in order for him to put it on you, you have to agree and give him permission to taint your spirit. And once he does that, there is no karmatic debt to it. A lot of times they'll do these things and they've learned that putting a smile on their face and presenting it to you will get them more headway than they would coming with a sword.
They're so full of shit. And my thing is this, right? Like, at the end of the day, whether you are, and I heard, okay, so let me say this. I heard that he tried to go to another part of Africa with this, and they ran his ass out of there. Like, literally ran him, his staff, security, everybody that was with them, like the cameraman, videographer, like ran them out of that part of Africa. And I said, good, because they, you see what I'm saying? Like, how many?
Russia got a bounty on him.
A bounty?
You playing,
Russia
right?
No, I heard Russia got a price for his head. They want him bad, real bad.
Well, listen.
Okay.
Listen, I'll say this.
At work.
I'll say this, right? I'm not a violent person by nature, and I don't usually wish death upon anyone, right? Because I'm a humanitarian at heart, but I feel like when it comes to evil motherfuckers that exist on this planet that are soulless entities, I don't feel bad for anything like that comes their way. I really don't, because they've caused so much pain to humanity without giving a fuck. Like why should we give a fuck if something happens to them? That's my stance on that. So when I hear about like something like that, yeah, I would support that, because at the end of the day, it's like, look what they're doing to the world for control and power, like, and they don't give a fuck. So why should we? Like, when I saw that there was a fuck Bill Gates campaign going on globally, like the Maverick Approach on Instagram, he literally has shirts that say fuck Bill Gates on it, and there were so many people in the comments that were like, where can I purchase this? The fact that people are coming together in solidarity to say fuck this man, like, I am so loving that. Like, I literally wish that we can all put in a petition for lethal injection. Like, I really want them to bring torture tactics back for people who are evil and deserve it, because to me, lethal injection, okay, like, but they need torture. Like, guillotine is too quick, shooting them too quick. Even prison, a lot of times they go to a maximum facility prison, they get treated like royalty within the prison still, because they got friends in high places. That's too easy. That is too easy. Like, what happens, when they take people, prisoners of war, and they do like torture tactics to them, like Romanians, Scandinavians, and like Russians and stuff like that, how they really enjoy doing those things that we see in a lot of those like horror movies. Like, I really would like for that to happen to these oligarchs and people who believe in doing evil, fucked up shit to the people in the world. Like, I would love to sit there and watch that, just like they do Hunger Games, and they like to watch people play for their lives. Like, what if people in society could sit around like they do at the football games and watch these evil motherfuckers like Hunger Games fight for their lives, knowing that at the end of the fight, they still have to face death? That would be a beautiful thing. I'm sorry, because they really out here doing too much. They doing the most. All for what? For what?
I think that when our people get back to, if you remember the Haitian Revolution, we didn't need a sword to do any of that. See, we forget that we control all of the elemental resources on this planet through our emotions and our consciousness. It's a direct link and connection. If you go back and do what they did back during the Haitian Revolution, and focus, everybody quit. If everybody focused on what you're talking about, like just visualizing it and thinking it the same way they look at a soap opera, Housewives of Atlanta, the Super Bowl, the NBA, the WNBA, the hockey league, the news, this, all that. If they just focused on that one thing for 3 days, that will instantly happen. And that's a guarantee. Because it has to.
Yeah. All right. Well, listen. We're gonna move on. We're gonna move on from that because we have a lot to unpack, guys. Welcome to all the people who listen in the shadows. Welcome to the people who's popping in, popping out. But yeah, I definitely believe in what you're saying. I second that. I definitely second that. We need to definitely focus our energy towards one thing to get shit done. But let me see. There is some good news that I have to share, but before I get to that good news, because I always tell you I want to end it off on a good note, we're going to tackle the other crazy shit. So there was a comment on a video. This guy was asking, why do you think the KKK has never been labeled an organized crime or terrorist group or organization? Because he basically said, as a black person or African American, person of color, indigenous, aboriginal, whatever title you want to give it, he said if us specifically as a people have done half the shit that the KKK has done as an organized group, we would be labeled a terrorist group or a terrorist organization, okay? And they would hit them with the RICO. So he was saying, why is it that the KKKs have never been hit with a RICO? Why is it that they have never been labeled a terrorist group or terrorist organization? And that's a rhetorical for me, but do you guys want to expound on that? Because I could say right now, the reason why I know for sure that hasn't happened is because a lot of the people who are involved in that organization are some of the people that make the laws. So they're not going to incriminate themselves or RICO themselves, because a lot of them are in judicial positions. A lot of them are in police enforcement positions. So why would they RICO themselves? Yeah, that's how I feel about it.
Well, people have to remember too, one of the original purposes for the KKK was to gatekeep the the Confederate flag.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. The indigenous people that originally owned that flag were unbeaten warriors. Never lost a war here. So their main role is to gatekeep that flag, to keep confusion, so that energy and spirit in those indigenous people that was here that originally owned that flag wouldn't be able to rise or reclaim that flag to be able to bring justice to this land.
Okay, makes sense. Makes sense. While we're on this topic, I want to play this clip from this lady. Watching this video, I'm not gonna hold y'all, it really pissed me off, and I try not to get too far, too emotional, because I understand that I understand that they use these powers that be use frequencies, and they like to harvest energy and siphon energy from the atmosphere. So I know rage baiting exists. I'm very aware of that. I know that a lot of the content, a lot of the trolls are paid agents to go. Their job is to literally stir up dissension, misinformation, to troll the people on the internet and to create certain emotional reactions. So I try to remain as neutral as possible, but there are still certain pieces of content. Like, I'm still a work in progress. I'm still a spiritual being having a human experience. So the human part of me, and me being a woman also, I do see certain content that does rage bait me. It does stir up something in me, because I just am so appalled at the gall and the audacity of some people, the ignorance and the bullheadedness of certain people, and it just really pisses me off because like this clip that I want to share with you guys, because as we were talking about, why would the people that are in the KKK organization, why would they ever be hit with a RICO? Because a lot of them under their robes are people who are lawmakers and lawbreakers. You know, there's a video of this lady, Sarah Netburn, and basically she is on trial. A judge is questioning her about when she was a judge, how she basically helped a judge get off, or helped somebody that was in a position, high position, judicial position, get off and lighten their sentence because they were a known pedophile. And so basically, when he got busted, and he he got busted as a, check this out, he got busted for being a pedophile. He got in trouble one time, got out of jail, right? Did a very light sentence because he was a judge, right? At one point, got a very light sentence, got out of jail. When he got out of jail, he committed another crime, of the same caliber, child pornography, sex, pedophilia, right? And do you know what this man did? He went to go get a sex change to become a tranny so he can get sent to a woman's prison. He didn't want to get sent to he did not want to face real men in prison for his crimes with little boys. So he went to get a sex change to become a woman, thinking he's going to get sent to a woman's prison. So now this judge that basically signed the paperwork for him to, there was a judge that told him absolutely fucking not. You're going to a male prison because you're a man. That's what the first judge convicted him, right? This bitch come in and she signed off on paperwork for him to actually be sent to a fucking female facility. And as the judge is questioning her, she's answering with some beat around the bush ass answers. And I just wanted to jump through the screen and choke her out. Because like, no, answer the fucking question. All this, she answers certain questions straight direct. Yes, no. When it comes to the real questions, even the judge was patient with her. I said, oh man, she lucky she got a white judge. Because if it was a hood judge of a different background, he would have gave her the business. Okay? I'm gonna play this clip.
Named William as July Justine Shelby.
Yes, I know who you're referring to.
Okay. Mr. McLean raped a child, didn't he?
30 years ago, the petitioner in the habeas case before me.
Did he rape a child?
He pled guilty to that crime. Yes, it's abhorrent.
And then he raped a 17. He raped a little boy, right?
I believe that's correct.
I believe that's correct. No, he fucking did it.
He raped a 17-year-old girl, right?
Again, this case was handled by the state court in Indiana, but
I'm just asking you the facts. Don't stall on me now. Did he rape a 17-year-old girl or not after raping a 9-year-old boy?
I believe that's what he pled guilty to.
Okay, and then he went to prison, didn't he?
Yes.
And then he came out and he sent child porn, basically adults raping little children, to another sex offender. And he was sent back to prison, right?
The petitioner pled guilty to...
Was he sent back to prison?
Well, that case was in the federal system, so...
Was he sent back to prison?
Yes, this time to federal prison.
Thank you. And then he decided to transition, and he became a female, and started going by July Justine Shelby. Is that right?
Yes.
And...
you see how easy she said yes to that?
I want to go to a female prison. What planet did you parachute in from? You're going to a male prison with this kind of record. And you... That the boy of prisons was trying to violate
Judge transfer the petitioner to a women's facility.
I remember an inmate named.
Did you guys hear that? Did you
William.
guys hear that bullshit?
It went in and out at the end, but yeah, I got most of it.
I was getting a call. I got a call twice that knocked me off. But so the thing that pissed me off about that, she kept saying, you see the games these people play? Oh, I believe so. I mean, yeah, it was 30 years ago. I believe so. He pled guilty to that. Bitch, yes or fucking no? Like, see, I was trying to come in very smooth and calmly. I know this, it's called Talk That Shit podcast. Now, here comes the shit talking part of it. Because now I'm really like, it just pisses me off. All right? Yes or fucking no? Did he do it or not? All that beating around the bullshit, this is what we get from these people. Every fucking time. They beat around the bush. They do all this legalese and all this long-winded talk and they give you all this bullshit. Straight no chaser. Did you do it? Yes or fucking no? Did he do it? Yes or fucking no? Was that his charges? Yes or fucking no? When it came to certain shit, she would say straight yes. Everything else was, oh, yeah, I believe it was. Yeah, it was 30 years ago. Yeah, I believe so. Yeah, he pled guilty. Yes the fuck. Just say yes. It's a simple yes. Did you sign off on the paper? Yes the fuck I did. Yes, I did. Simple and plain. You know you out of fucking pocket. You know you out of pocket. Put her ass in jail too and throw away the motherfucking key. We need to start holding these motherfuckers responsible. You signed off on a fucking pedophile that you know for sure did that bullshit. And you want to talk about, yes, so I assume so. Yes, he pled guilty. No, yes, it's a fucking yes. And you signed off on the paperwork because he tried to dealing with some men in prison that would fucking rip his head off for doing that shit to a fucking young kid, young children. Because even though there's all kind of breeds of criminals in prison, you got niggas that's in there for all kind of bullshit. But the real killers, the real men, they might have went to prison for some other bullshit. But when it comes to doing stuff to children, they treat those type of people with a whole different type of energy. So to avoid going to deal with that energy, he wanted to change himself to a bitch. And she signed off on it to give him a lesser punishment. She deserves her ass to go to fucking prison too. Maximum facility. Throw her ass in a fucking hole. I'm tired of them. All of them. Every single one of them. I'm sorry for getting so passionate, y'all. But that shit really just pisses me off. Like, anyway.
Never apologize for passion. Never.
Like, these people are sick.
Do. They live to lie, deny, deflect, and project. That's what they live for. In all major categories of living: economics, education, entertainment, labor law, medicine, media, military, politics, religion, sex, and war. They live for all that. They do it all. In every major category: lie, deny, and deflect. Because they think it's a game. It's a sick game. This is why. Not trying to be funny, basically, but these folks, basically, metaphysically speaking, they were nicknamed the Scorpion race for a reason. You take all the negative aspects of the sign Scorpio and you put that shit on steroids, and you have these people, these folks that are running the world, these folks that are in politics, these folks that are having this highly unmitigated power. This is what you have. And they do it, it's this, the whole disposition is because I can. They're driven by power. They're insane with it. They're constantly drunken with it. They're constantly high of it. And the whole factor of power is, for the most part, not just only the possession of the resources, but more so the possessions of the minds, the hearts, the souls, and the spirits of the people that they control. And the fact that they can do anything they want to on a puppeteering level, no matter how heinous, no matter how ridiculous, no matter how insane, they get off on that. They get off on a regular basis, the men and the women. They get off on power.
there's so much, like